Hi everyone, and welcome back to Glow with Liana. I'm Liana and I'm so thrilled that you clicked on this video. Today is a bit of a unique video. It's a departure from my normal content. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm in this tropical setting. But I just wanted to film a video talking about the things that I've learned from heartbreak. I did create a video about how to heal from heartbreak. A lot of the advice I gave is still things that I'm trying to implement better in my life, more consistently, more strictly. But I feel like there was a missing element to that video, which was just a meditation on what heartbreak is and what I've learned from going through it. So it's going to be less structured, not edited. I'm just going to talk at you, and yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know. It's really exciting to go on this creation journey with YouTube, because when you're just starting out, you get to try all these different things and see what lands and see what doesn't. So if you enjoyed this, let me know. Well, I was thinking about it anyways. One of the biggest things I've learned from heartbreak is it's not a linear process. A dear friend that's helped me so much through this period of time, she's often told me that it's 2 steps backward and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. And I totally agree with that. In the beginning, at least for me, going through grief or loss or heartbreak, it can feel like the pain will never end. I think for the first month to 2 months, it just feels like an empty black hole of nothingness and pain and sorrow. And then after about 2 months, at least for me, I started to notice that there was a bit of hope, that there was light at the end of the tunnel. I was starting to trust myself more, realizing things that I had swallowed up in the past, letting things come to the surface. I think it's funny because in relationships I'm anxiously attached, but with my own emotions I'm more avoidantly attached. So if you have that mentality of, when it comes to dealing with your own emotions, you just kind of swallow them and you think that if you don't pay attention to them, they'll go away. Not great. It's just not a great process. So learning how to acknowledge what's coming up, that it's also a part of the process to let the pain surface, because if it doesn't surface, how can you get rid of it? There's bugs all over me. I have one big fear in this life, well, a couple, but one of them is bugs, especially bugs that fly. They like get in your ear and there's zzz, freaks me out. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So lessons I've learned from heartbreak is, one, it's not linear at all. Not linear at all, and that's okay, and that's normal. I don't even know how to quantify my heartbreak. I think it's been on and off, but more consistent for the past half a year. And even though I feel like I've made strides in some ways, the past few days or the past week have been really eye-opening to me, to show me that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And it's frustrating because you think you've come all this way and you've made all this progress, and then boom, something happens and you have to redo the process. And so it's not linear. Another thing that I've learned is sometimes it's better to do your mourning in private. I'm surrounded by an amazing, amazing support system. I could not thank God more for the people that have been ushered into my life so spontaneously and with so much grace in the past few months. But sometimes if you're surrounded by a lot of empathetic people, or empaths, or really sensitive people, they begin to take on the burden. And so while there are times I like to go to people to work out things emotionally, there's also a lot of power in healing alone. I was privileged enough to live on my own for about 6 months during this period of grief, and I realized the power of solitude and the power of sitting, facing your feelings. Going back to the repression or emotional denial of pain, you can't do that when you're alone. You just simply can't. when you're with people or you're surrounded by people, you can so easily be like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk, or we can go to this class, or we can talk about this, or eat out at this place. And there's a lot of opportunity to keep running away from your emotions. But when you're alone, you're forced to eat alone, and you're forced to go out by yourself, and you're forced to just have less interaction with people, you begin to heal, and you heal more intensely, but also, for me, quicker. So that is another thing I've learned. Another thing I've learned is prioritizing myself is not selfish. I know, crazy. It's a radical thought. I used to think that self-care and this whole self-care movement, the self-care focus in our more Western society at least, was a little bit selfish. And I still feel like it can go too far on the spectrum in some ways with some people, but it's also unhealthy to completely neglect yourself. It's absolutely not selfish at all. It's a big lesson for my heartbreak. It's not selfish at all to do things that protect yourself. And that for me looks like hard boundaries. And I have learned that in the past few months, is how to say no to people, how to do that in a kind way. And it takes time. It's not a immediate process. You don't go from being a chronic people pleaser like I was to then suddenly being a badass, like, excuse my language, but a badass, self-dependent, independent advocate for yourself. It takes trial and error, and it also takes learning about boundaries. And I would love to do a different video about this too, how I set boundaries and how I keep and maintain boundaries, because that's a gift that's come out of this heartbreak for sure. It's taught me how to stand up for myself in ways that I never have before, and I hope to continue doing. And of course, it's not a linear process like the other steps or the other lessons I found in heartbreak, but with trial and error and a lot of patience and grace for yourself, and also for the people that you're placing boundaries in place for, it can be a really beautiful thing that comes out of heartbreak. I don't think I would have been able to talk so openly like I am right now a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago even. I think I still would have tried to hide a lot with, a happy face and a giggle and a laugh. A lot of people in my life that saw me during the heartbreak, they were kind of confused because I'm very honest, I'm very blunt. Sagittarius things, like, I will tell you how it is. If someone asks me how I'm doing, I will literally say I'm doing awful. I'll say it with a smile though, so people don't really see the depths of my pain, and I like to keep that for myself, because like I said, I found healing in private can be very beneficial for me. But also recognizing your progress. It's really an uphill battle with heartbreak, and I think it's like that with any struggle or any negative emotion. It takes time, and it takes patience for yourself, a lot of patience and a lot of grace. And it also takes learning. It takes crafting a strategy that's going to help you, and that you can find through lots of deep introspection. A lot of the things I'm saying that help me in my heartbreak, or the perspective that I've gained, is like someone else's complete healing nightmare. Like, some people need to be surrounded by others constantly in order to feel supported, in order to feel safe in unpacking their negative emotions or sadness. Some people don't need time at all. They're fine. They snap back. They're more resilient. That's amazing. I wish that were me. But for me, I know that I'm deeply sensitive, and it does take me time. Walking back and forth, ruminating is a big thing for me. So also things like physical activity, yoga helps me so much. If you didn't know, I started a yoga YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description below, Flow and Glow Yoga. But I'm a very head in the clouds kind of person. In some ways I'm grounded and I have an intense focus when I am obsessed with something, but day to day I don't feel connected to my body whatsoever. I don't feel centered. I don't feel, I'm just always in my head, lost in my thoughts, lost in fantasies, or lost in goals or dreams or aspirations, or also the sad things, the regrets, the pain. So when I do yoga or when I do exercise, especially in this period of heartbreak, it takes me out of that place and it allows me to really focus on being in the present moment, which is super hard for me. So I guess another lesson from heartbreak is move your body. And for me, there's so much nutritional advice out there. There's so many, HIIT workout is the best kind of physical activity. And then a week later, it's cardio, running, jogging. And then the next week, it's don't ever run. That's terrible for your metabolism. Just do long walks or just do strength training. You don't need cardio. There's so much noise out there. And what I can say as a person that's fallen prey to those fitness trends or those nutritional trends is just find a form of exercise that suits you, that makes you happy, and that makes you more likely to do it again. I saw this creator that said, I think it's MadFit. She's got that workout channel. She's incredible. I love her. She said that the best form of exercise is the one you enjoy. If you enjoy long walks, do long walks. If you enjoy super intense cardio or super intense weightlifting, do that, because that's the thing that you're more likely to repeat and then have success in your routines. And then routines, that's another thing, and I'll end here for the video. Having a routine in this period of grief or heartbreak has been so fundamental to my healing. I'm not a person that is great with change, especially like daily routines, habits, places, spaces. They affect me really deeply. So when I have a routine, waking up at the same time, doing the same morning routine, same night routine, it helps me feel like me. The days that I sleep in or I neglect my routines or I don't meditate or I don't do yoga, I notice that I have such a shorter fuse with people. Even though I consider myself to be patient, I have such a short fuse. I snap at people. I'm just not as nice of a person if I don't tend to myself, which is also tied to being a bit selfish, not even in a negative way, just prioritizing your own happiness. So that is deeply tied to the routines, because if you have that time for solitude, especially in meditation or doing the same things every single day, your nervous system can more easily regulate. And when it more easily regulates, you have an easier time going through those periods of pain. Because even though there might be upheaval in your personal life or your career or your family life, at least you can expect that you will show up for yourself day after day. And that could look like, going on a walk in the morning every single day. It doesn't have to be crazy 10-step skincare, 10-step fitness, drive to the gym, do this, do that. It could just be one simple habit that you do every single day that shows yourself that you care, that you're still there, that no matter what you're going through, you're going to show up for yourself. That's going to make you a more pleasant person for yourself and for other people. And with that, I will close out the video. I really enjoyed this sort of intimate chat. If you're going through heartbreak, I just want to say that my heart is with you. It is not fun, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if some days it doesn't feel like it at all, and some days it feels like you're regressing more than you're growing. But I'm there with you. I know you can do it. Find what works for you, stick to it, and you're going to come out of it stronger, just as I am, just as everyone does. So I love you so much, whoever you are. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.